Hello everyone, Mike here, and welcome to the Way Ministry. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, along with the microchip, and how all that's kind of coming together. Back in January, the Wall Street Journal had put out an article that the headlines read, Central bank digital currencies are coming whether countries are ready or not. Some may not know this, but I believe it was July of last year, our country, the United States, actually did a mock-up and did some checking and some analysis and things about these digital currencies and how it would affect our economy and such if we was to switch to it. And I'll tell you right now that in order for this to go into place, we're going to have to our US dollar is going to have to collapse or get to the point to where it's worthless. And at this point right now, we've got, high inflation. We've had banks collapsing. We have countries, and I'm not going to go into it very deep, but the BRICS 5, that's an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They all joined together and they're basically creating their own economy. And there's 130 countries. And there's an article here, the headline, it says BRICS, 130 countries move towards CBDC currency, US dollar in jeopardy. And this was July 4th of 2023 when this article came out. Now, I believe it's going to happen. Our dollar is going to be worthless. It's practically there now. I mean, anyone can go to the grocery store, and I remember a time where $20 would get you quite a bit. And now you're lucky if you can get 3 or 4 things with $20. And then, how does this all tie in with, the digital currency? And then, I was talking about the chip and things. All this is leading up to something much bigger. Once we go digital, it's going to eliminate all of the US dollar. I mean, it's going to be worthless. We're going to end up being paperless. It's going to be just numbers and figures and things. We won't have any tangible money that we'll be using to buy or to purchase anything. And you can kind of see it. It's all leading in that direction because you've got like J.P. Morgan, for example, in their the Fortune magazine, it says J.P. Morgan will let consumers pay with their face or palm instead of a card. And this was back in March of 23 of this year. And then just recently on a local news channel where I live in WSBT channel 22, it says that they actually was on I believe it was this morning, because this was sent to me, and Palm Pay coming to Whole Foods. So I went online and went to their website and did a little digging, and this article came up. And I want you to notice the date on this article. It's April 21st of 2021. That was 2 years ago. And they're just now that, putting this out actually on TV and, live broadcast. But Amazon begins rollout of Pay by Palm at Seattle Whole foods. And a little bit of the article here, New York, AP, Amazon is rolling out pay by palm technology at some Whole Foods grocery stores near its headquarters to make paying quicker and more convenient. Well, that's what this is all about. This is the way they're going to sell this, is that it's convenient. It's easy to do. You don't have to carry cash. You don't have to carry your wallet. You can just, swipe your hand, your palm across this reader, and you'll be able to pay that way. And your palm basically will be linked to your bank account. Now, the WEF, World Economic Forum, says CBDCs must be implanted under your skin if you want to participate in society. Now, first of all, I'd like to make it clear that this article is from the European Union Times, and it was on July 10th of 2023. Now, WEF, they have this person, Professor Richard Werner, claims that this is what they're doing. I've went to their website, dug around, and I have not been able to, as far as what he's claiming that is said here in this what I'm about to read you a little bit of, does not, I can't find it anywhere in their at their website, but at the same time, if you want to keep something quiet or secret, they're not going to have it right out there for you. Now, supposedly, through this article, and it's a lengthy one, that's why I'm only going to give you this little bit of portion here, that he claims that he actually spoke to someone that is affiliated with WEF, and that they actually, this is what they're wanting to do. And this, it says here, the WEF has declared that all citizens must be implanted with a CBDC microchip in the very near future in order to be able to fully participate in society and do basic things such as purchase food and water. According to Professor Richard Werner, in the very near future, citizens will need to use the latest technology, such as a CBDC chip implant, in order to access their bank accounts. Now, I believe this. I believe this is going to take place. And it reminds me in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16 and 17, and it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." This is leading up to the time of the Antichrist and the mark of the beast. And I believe this digital chip is exactly what they will use to basically enslave us, enslave the people, to be able to, if you want to buy or sell, you're going to have this chip. At first, it's going to be voluntary, and then eventually, it's going to be mandatory. My personal opinion, all this stuff that we've been seeing over the last couple of years has been a kind of a trial run, if you will. The COVID-19, the mask mandates, okay? Now, COVID, it was real. But as far as them, the government was pushing to see what all they could get away with, and how how society would accept or rebel against it. You've got the mask mandates. A lot of people complied with that. Others I've talked with, and I know that they just refuse to wear one. And then they tell you to stay home. They shut churches down, and then there was churches that rebelled against that. This is all, the government is testing the waters to see what all they can get away with. Now, you take, for example, here we're starting out. Let's go way back. Okay, this has all been planned for decades. That this is all leading up to this. I don't believe, with technology and everything that it is today, government is all about power. And I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I'll tell you, I don't trust the government. There's people that have been in power, both sides, Republicans and Democrats, that has been in office way too long. Too many years, and they've made a career of something that they should have just been in and just gotten out of. Without getting on a bunny trail, I'll just simply say that there should be term limits, not only for a president, but for Congress and the Senate as well. But these people, they get power hungry, so they want to go on and just enslave you. And that's what this chip will do. And what they're doing is, if you keep in mind that we started out with a credit card back years ago, where people that were born in the 50s and 60s and all, you put the card into a little slide deal that had a carbon copy, and you'd slide it across and make an imprint of the things, and that's how you got your receipts. Then, it went from there. It went to the strip, magnetic strip on the card, and then they put a chip in it. And now you got to do is just insert your chip. And then here, it wasn't that long ago that they got the little your scanners and all out, and now it's got a what they call a tap. All you got to do is touch it. Now, isn't that ironic? Now, you think about that. You end up with a chip in your hand. It's under the skin. All you got to do now is just put your hand over that, wave it across that tap area, and it's going to read your chip and be able to take whatever necessary funds, whatever, from your bank account. See, this is all being implemented kind of like right out in the open, but yet, if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't think anything about this. But it's all leading up to that, and it's all coming together. All this stuff, the palm, starting with the J.P. Morgan was talking about with the palm reading, and be able to pay with your palm, retina scan, thumb scan. This is all just kind of things that are. It's leading up to eventually to the microchip being underneath your skin. Now, with all that said, it might sound like a great thing because, okay, it eliminates carrying a wallet. I believe you're not going to have a driver's license because it's going to be in that chip. Your medical records, that's all positive stuff. But now you think about this. Now here's the downside. If you end up going to this, when we go to this chip, it's going to eliminate physical money. The dollar bill and all that's going to go away. And now everything is going to be in however way they're going to have it. It's all going to be in a computer and that. And if the government does not like what you're doing, or if you don't comply to their regulations, what they're going to mandate, say there's another pandemic or something, and they say, well, I'm not going to stay home on this. All they got to do is just shut you off and basically lock you out of your bank account. Now you think, now how are they going to know? How are they going to know if I'm not going to stay at home? That chip, they're going to be able to track you. They'll know every move that you make. Your freedom is gone. Your privacy is gone. And a lot of people don't realize this because, like I said, it's going with, it started with, back years, a couple of years, 3-4 years ago, they was doing a thumbprint, a thumb scan, and then the retina scan, the facial scan. All this stuff is just leading into that chip. It reminds me of that analogy of the frog in a pot of water. And if you don't know what that is, I'll quickly tell you. You put a frog in a pot of water, and you've got it on under a fire on the stove, say, and you got it at 98 degrees. It's comfortable temperature. And each day or every 6-8 hours, you turn that up 1 degree. And the frog is sitting in there and he doesn't realize that it's getting hotter and getting hotter. And you just keep going. And by the time he realizes that he's being cooked, it's too late because he's too weak to be able to even get out of the pot. That's what's going to happen to our society, to our nation, because this is what this is all leading up to. We think it's all great and wonderful, and one morning we're going to wake up and like, how did we end up here? And it's because we allowed it to happen. So I just wanted to give you a little heads up on this. Let me know what your thoughts are, and just keep an eye open and keep looking up. Jesus is coming soon. Take care and God bless.